Learning how to skate bigger transition can be pretty difficult. At first, it seems like it wouldn't be that hard, but as most of you know, thinking about something and actually doing it are two completely different things. So recently I've gotten a lot of comments and questions about how to skate bigger transition, and I feel like anyone that has skated before knows this feeling when you do a trick on a smaller quarter pipe and then you look at something bigger and you're like almost certain you could do it, and then you go to try it and it's just way harder than you thought it was. So yeah, I'm going to discuss why I think that happens and give you some tips that can make it easier for you. First thing we're going to be talking about is fear, because a lot of the times you can ride up to try a trick and you'll think it's your skill level that's preventing you from doing it, but really it's fear. Like you have this fear of maybe being on top of the coping or falling off or something like that is in the back of your head, and sometimes you can't even realize it, and it's like psyching you out before you even attempt a trick, before any real skill isn't even involved. So this is something that's good to know before you start trying it, because if you understand this, then you're not just going to be like, oh, this is too hard, and then stop trying it. You know that you're just overcoming a fear and breaking in a muscle, and then eventually you'll be able to work your way up to it. All right, I'm going to give you guys an example. So let's say you can get a couple of axle stalls on the 4-foot quarter pipe, and now you want to do it on the 6-foot, but when you ride up, you get to halfway or 3/4 of the way up the ramp, and you kind of just lose your speed, jump off, and it just feels too hard to get up to the coping. So to me, what's happening there is the ramp just starts to get to a certain steepness level, and it kind of pushes you off the ramp, right? So if you don't change the way you're going up the ramp, it's just gonna suck up all your speed. I like to think about it in terms of pumping. So picture you're on a 4-foot ramp and you're just getting on the ramp trying to get some speed, right? So you go a little under the coping, and once you get to your peak point to pump, you kind of get a little light-footed, and then you push off the ramp, right? And that's kind of helping you generate speed. So when I'm going up for a 6-foot ramp, I like to get light-footed also, right? And that kind of helps the ramp not suck my weight away, right? So once kind of getting off the ramp, taking my weight off the board just a little bit, and it's making it easier to get up to the coping. It might be hard to get used to it first, so just keep paying attention to it. When you ride up the ramp, feel if you're flat-footed and you're hitting the ramp and watching your speed disappear, just keep paying attention to it. The next thing I like to think about is when I get to the coping, I like to stay crouched down. Right, so if I stand up completely straight, once I get towards the top of the coping, it's gonna kind of push me off the ramp. And sometimes with really steep transition, you need to be kind of crouched and have a lower center of gravity that keeps you in towards the ramp. So this ramp isn't that steep, so I wouldn't really need to do that on this ramp, but if it was another 6-foot quarter and it was just a little bit steeper transition, I would definitely stay a little more crouched down. Okay, and the last tip is repetition. Get your trick down on the 4-foot quarter pipe first. Do it, 50 times in a row. Just keep doing it over and over and over. And then when you go to do it on the 6-foot, it'll be really clear to what you're doing wrong, because you have the fundamentals, the mechanics down so well. After you do it 50 times, you do it on the big one, and you're like, oh, it really stands out what you're doing wrong. So yeah, and also it just helps to have it that much more consistently when you're doing it on something bigger. Okay, I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you have any questions at all about skateboarding or this video, just leave them in the comments below. All right, thanks for watching.